very similar play styles, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see who comes out ahead on this one.
It's really going to come down to how effectively the freshman 15 can team fight. Because unfortunately, despite them having similar play styles, it's clear that they're at a bit of a disadvantage on an individual level.
Yeah, definitely. And like one thing, Russell's Crows have been together for a long time, and but without having their main support, Mr. Redfred, there, it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with his absence, because I'm pretty sure he's their main shot caller.
Yeah, that's the impression I got over the past couple splits of playing against Russell's Crows. And as we say that, first couple bans are coming out. Twitch and Vayne banned out immediately, followed by a Katarina and a Morgana. These teams definitely know who they want to take out.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not really sure for freshman 15 who goes where, like who plays which position. But that Katarina ban doesn't really surprise me too much. I shouldn't really say Dark Matter really loves playing assassins, but I don't really see him on Katarina too often. He's more of the LeBlanc. So we might be seeing maybe a third ban for that, or they might pick it up pretty early.
Right. You mentioned the lineups. I happen to be privy to that information. So the lineup for the freshman 15 is ST Terminator in the top lane, I am Cutie Pie in the jungle, Synth is their mid laner, Wiley is the AD carry, and all of you as their support.
Alright, sounds pretty good. And I know just from past experience that Wawa Peach Tea is their ADC, Watanglo is their jungler, Cacturman I'm pretty sure is their sub, so most likely we'll see him in support, Angel Ricky in the top lane, and Dark Matter in the mid lane. So we have Sona coming out for our first ban. They really wanted that Sona, and it's really surprising because I don't see Sona too often, while we see freshman 15 picking up Jinx and Janna. Janna is probably the support of the month right now. I see him in almost every game, and she's really strong.
The beautiful thing about Sona is, especially after her rework, she is strong in almost every capacity. Her healing was slightly reduced on her W. Because of that, they gave her a shield, which makes her effective trading much higher at lower levels. Not to mention, the damage is fairly significant, and the AoE, I think it's a 1.5 stun that comes from her crescendo. Definitely something that can't be ignored.
Yeah, and one thing, people have been saying, like, the changes kind of nerfed her, but it really buffed her team fighting with that shield, because she used to only be able to heal one person and herself, and that was it. But now she could heal someone and shield the rest of her team. And from Russell's Crows right now, we are seeing a huge late-game team fight with Sion and Tristana coming in.
Yeah, this is definitely starting to have the look of a protect the AD carry composition. The mobility and utility that comes out from Sona, the heavy tankiness from Sion. It won't surprise me if we see a very supportive mid laner, maybe an Orianna or something coming like that coming out of Dark Matter.
Yeah, I have seen Dark Matter play Orianna before, and he's pretty good on it. So that's definitely a pick that he will probably choose, because I'm not sure how the Assassins will go with this late game team comp. So wouldn't be surprised to see that Orianna.
Freshman 15 hovering a Jarvan and locking in a Ryze. Jarvan looks like it is going to stick, so kind of answering the late game team with even more late game. Jinx being a hyper carry, AD carry as well, and Ryze, despite the nerfs that hit with 419, still a very potent late game hyper carry.
Yeah, Ryze will always be strong, and as the same boat of Orianna, Lux is still a supportive mid laner with their shield coming out in long range attacks, but I'm not sure if we'll see this Poppy. I think this is just a hover because Freshman 15 also hovered it as well. I don't really think I've seen Angel Ricky play a lot of Poppy.
No, I can't really recall what I've seen him play for that matter. Lux being switched over to Ahri and locked in.
Yeah, going with that assassin. One thing about Angel Ricky, he does play a lot of Shyvana as well as Lissandra. That's one of his main things in solo queue. He plays Lissandra top quite a bit, and Kassadin would be an interesting for the top lane. I haven't really seen him play it, but Kassadin top lane is really strong. And it is going to be picked, it looks like.
Yep, locks in, and that's just going to leave the last pick for Freshman 15, currently hovering Diana. As a Diana player, I love seeing this. I love the Moon Goddess getting some love.
Yeah, and this is going to be a mid lane Morgana, my bad, Diana. You really don't see Diana too much in the mid lane anymore. I usually see her in the jungle, but still, she is still strong in the mid lane, so this is going to be a really interesting fight if he chooses to stick with that Diana.
So the one thing about Diana is her base damage is actually fairly... It's mediocre, but she gains heavy damage from her passive with the... what's the...
I'm not really sure.
The AoE auto attack.
Okay.
It really magnifies her damage, and the setup for that, where you can just hit 2 auto attacks, QR onto someone immediately, and get that boosted damage off from her passive is phenomenal. All that really comes down to is how well you can manage your mana. If you can stay healthy in that regard, she's very powerful.
But sadly, Diana was not picked. They actually picked another late game champ with the Viger, and I, for one, thought that with the cross-divisional meeting coming at 6, both these teams would want to get this game overway, but both of them pick extreme late-game teams. I feel like we're going to be here for a while.
Well, one thing I've learned from playing League is when you pick a late-game team, you either play for the late game or you get ahead and you accelerate the late game.
So yeah, this game might just go to whoever gets the lead first. As long as they're able to keep it, they should have a good time in this game, because I don't even know if there is a single early game champ. Maybe with Ahri there, I'm pretty sure I think she's pretty early game. I'm not really sure how mid lane matchups go, so I don't know how she really stacks up. But Kassadin is a late game, as well as Sion and Tristana as well.
So Ahri's big power curves come at level 6 when she gains the mobility from her ultimate, and at level 9 when she can get her max level Q, which really ramps up the true damage and the potential healing from her passive. But against a Veigar, I mean, that's just dirty.
Yeah, Viger is going to be interesting, because as far as I know, Ahri cannot dash out of his box. So if he's able to get a box onto Ahri, she's going to be stuck in there. But as long as she doesn't get stunned, she's going to be able to put down a lot of damage on that Viger. So I'm going to be interested to see how this mid lane matches up. And both supports picking fairly squishy ones, especially with that late game. I'm not sure which would be more powerful late game. I think Janna's initiation with her ult and disengage as well is probably going to be a little more than Character Man Sona, except if Sona has flash up, flash ults can be devastating in team fights.
The other thing, as a mid Sona player, so it doesn't quite translate as well, but the one thing I've noticed from playing her is the mobility creep on her E is phenomenal. Even with maybe 100 AP, say you go for the Spell Thief's Edge, and an Athene's or something along those lines to keep up with your mana sustain, that's gonna put you at about a 45% increase to movement speed when you cast your E, which is just ridiculous. Not to mention the increased auto attack that you're gonna get from the Q that you give to everyone, not just yourself, and the shields. The utility, I think, is a lot higher overall for Sona, but the power in disengage and protecting Jinx in Freshman 15's case, that advantage definitely goes to Janna.
Yeah, one thing, as I used to main Sona all the way back in Season 2 when I first started playing in the Penn State tournaments. My first 2 games I played as strictly Sona, and I am really glad that E got buffed a lot, because that E almost was worthless in the old Sona. It gave a little bit of the speed boost that could sometimes save someone, but like her AoE after using E is really substantial. It's amazing.
Not to mention the power chord E, I think is something like an 80% slow.
It's a ridiculous one, yeah. It's a ridiculous slow. Like, because of that, all of her power chords, like, power chord E is actually something that's used quite a bit. It used to be almost always power chord Q, unless they're diving on you, power chord W for a good, like, way to reduce someone's attacks. But, we're getting way in the game right now. We're going to be getting a loading screen, and one thing I kind of forgot about is that we're going to be on the old Summoner's Rift, sadly. I really want new Summoner's Rift to be in custom games so we could cast on that, because I've been playing nothing but team builder games just to be on that new Rift.
Having a PvE account, I kind of got tired of it a little bit, but it is most definitely a gorgeous thing to play on.
I really love the little things they threw in there, like being able to see Dragon as it comes in from the from way up top at like around 1:30. It flies in the background. One thing we wanted to do is we wanted to check out to see if Baron comes in at any point down the bottom. We really didn't get to do that yet. We really want to see what little secrets they put in this game.
Right. So both teams are Team Foreskin, so no advantage on giving Riot money. So we're gonna have a fairly even game in terms of that.
And sadly, Wily, not with the rest of his team there with borders. They almost had all matching borders. With we have Russell's Crow there with a nice little pattern of gold, silver, gold, silver, gold. So that looks pretty cool.
Everyone's finally getting out of the fountain. First buys are coming through, and we're seeing fairly standard across the board. Veigar going for boots, though, rather than a Doran's ring. Most likely to help him evade the early skill shots from Ahri to keep healthy in lane.
Yeah, not really too surprised with that one. It kind of hurts that he doesn't get that ability power from a Doran's, but he probably does need those 2 extra pots in order to stay in lane against this Ahri.
And early ward coming out from Freshman 15 on the blue side. They're pinging as if they want to invade. Nothing coming from it so far as Russell's Crows gets out some defensive wards around their red side and sort of just fans out the river.
Yeah, it almost seems like there is maybe a lane swap here with Sona and Tristana in the top side of the jungle, and that ward placed by Ryze is going to be able to see it. So it looks like Freshman 15 is going to counter it by putting their bot lane into the top as well. So they feel like they definitely have the advantage with the Jinx against the Tristana early, so they want to make sure that that lane happens.
Absolutely. I haven't seen any of the other games that have happened this weekend, but we have a very good chance with the way Freshman 15 is positioning of seeing our first lane swap of the LCS. That's going to be fairly exciting. You don't really see those too much in solo queue, and even when you do, they almost never work out.
Yeah, one thing I gotta say is by watching Russell's Crows playing with them for the past like almost 2 years now, they actually are one of the few teams that regularly do the lane swap, and it looks like Freshman 15 is not going to send their bot lane to the top, so we are just going to see a lane swap going on, and Kassadin and Ryze trying to get as much farm and experience as they possibly can against the 2 people.
Yeah, so first lane swap coming out of the tournament in favor of Russell's Crows. Let's see how these teams manage it. And Freshman 15 is doing exactly what they need to do. They are moving up and they are forcing Angel Ricky off the farm. Gonna take an extra turret shot there. Russell's Crows not really doing the same thing. Cactuar Man allowing Terminator to get into experience range and get some farm. So just from how these lanes are panning out in the early part, Freshman 15 is going to have a significant advantage in both experience and gold.
Oh, yeah, right now, Janna right now is pushing Angel Ricky out from that lane, so he's not able to get experience. But Terminator right now is having the minion wave come to his turret to soak up that experience and getting some of the kills under tower. It looks like that Russell's Crows do want to get the fast push, and from that, Freshman 15 do the same thing and put some damage onto that tower.
Both junglers taking their second buffs. I'm a Cutie Pie. Coming up to this top lane is going to get spotted out by that ward. Let's just go back into his jungle and continue farming.
And Terminator takes quite a bit of damage in the top lane. He's not going to be able to stick around for too much longer, but he has pots. He's going to keep himself alive quite well. He just used the last one, and Angel Ricky there, having the flask, is going to be able to stay in lane more, and Watanglo is going to come down to help him out to try to get some farm.
Yep. Terminator definitely sitting at a much lower health comparatively to Ricky.
Oh, a stun comes out on a Dark Matter. He gets knocked up by I Am Cutie Pie, but the flashes come in, and Viger's able to pick up the kill. That was 2 flashes blown, but the kill is going to go down onto Synth there.
First blood on Viger, and he picked it up with a Q nonetheless, so that's going to ramp up his AP even faster.
Yeah, quite a bit, because he does get that bonus from when he kills, I don't think it needs to be a Q to kill a champion. I think it's just whenever he kills one, but I wonder if it stacks double that if you kill someone with a Q.
I think it's 3 extra AP, I believe.
Possibly. But right now, we could see in the CS difference in the top lanes is the ADCs are basically the same, but in top lane, Saint Terminator on Rise has an 11 CS advantage already on Angel Ricky, because Cassidy does have problem farming, and at 2v1, he's going to have even a worse time before he gets his ult.
Absolutely. You're really starting to see the difference in ranged versus melee, but again, I think that really comes down to how the supports played out the lane in that first couple of minutes, where Olive was forcing Angel Ricky off of the minion wave, as to where SC Terminator was able to get into experience range and get some last hits in with his Qs.
We have right now I Am Cutie Pie up into the top lane. I don't know if he's going to start something, but Angel Ricky's still taking more damage. I Am Cutie Pie just waiting patiently, and now he starts to come in. I wonder if he's going to be able to get the knockup, and he gets the knockup on a Sona, and Tristana is able to jump away, but Cacturman is taking a lot of damage from both of them, but Saint Terminator is so low that he can't really follow up, and he goes on in, goes on a Tristana, and he is going to go down. A perfect job by Tristana there to get that heal in before dying, and he was able to get Saint Terminator's flash as well.
Exhaust was used by Cacturman to force I'm a Cutie Pie off of Tristana, but in the end, that is definitely a good trade and well played out by Russell's Crows.
And this bot lane turret, though, is taking quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure if Watanglo can hold it out much too longer. 2 more waves and it might go down. Saint Terminator now back in the top lane, still has the level advantage. Well, not anymore, actually. It just happened that they leveled up at the same exact time as I said that. So they're both going to be hitting 6 somewhat relatively soon. And bot lane for Freshman 15 now just getting their 5. So that kill is helping up in the top lane quite a bit. But this tower is going to go down. That's going to be an early tower for Freshman 15. And I'm really interested to see what they do now after getting this tower.
So what's most likely going to happen is they're going to take that last bit of wave, they're going to back off, try and establish vision control around the dragon, and either force something mid or look for a pick onto Utangalo and set up something that'll allow them to take that dragon freely. And as I say that, I'm a Cutie Pie is hovering around this mid lane looking to get something on Dark Matter.
Yeah, I Am Cutie Pie has been waiting patiently, and the Synth's stun just barely missing there. That could have been a kill on a Dark Matter, but he does have his ult available. He would have been able to rush out of there quite easily, but popping an ult would have been really nice there.
Looks like Angel Ricky's going to swap back top lane. We're going to go back to normal lanes now that the first turret is down.
Yeah, this gives Tristan a little bit of more availability to farm against the Jinx, but if it gets pushed out too far, I'm not sure if I Am Cutie Pie on that Jarvan can take advantage of it, with Tristana being able to just jump away from his ult. And they're trading right now. They're going onto each other. Wawa Peach Tea putting a lot of damage onto Wily, but a stun comes down on a Dark Matter from Synth, and he takes a good amount of damage from that. Oh man, I can't remember. Is it? What's his W called? Vigers. I'm gonna check this out.
Dark Matter?
It is Dark Matter.
And blue buffs have respawned, and we're starting to see the mid laners pick those up. Meanwhile, we're getting some more trading bottom. Wawa forced to rocket jump out, and that just might signal Dragon. It looks like I'm a Cutie Pie is going to come in and set up for a counter gank bottom, but he's going to get caught up by a ward. Meanwhile, again, Dark Matter getting caught by the cage from Vigar, losing about half of his health, forcing those pots to be used fairly quickly. And you know, one more stun like that, and it's Dark Matter's gonna fall.
Yeah, but one thing with Ari, he can turn it pretty quickly. He has really not yet backed. He's gone early to get a... Oh, Angel Orki's going down on a Saint Terminator, but just to trade a few damage. But yeah, Dark Matter has only gotten a second Doran's Ring. He probably has a lot of gold available. He has...
1,300.
1,300, almost 1,400. He actually just went back and bought, so he will have some Magic Pen right now to deal and maybe even kill Viger, who doesn't have any magic resist.
Rai's gonna use his ult, push that wave out back. Sitting on just shy of his Catalyst. Probably gonna sit on that.
We have an ult coming in from Latanglo. Silence coming down in the bot lane, but Jinx nicely flashes it, and he walks down into his choppers, and this is going to be really easy for Freshman 15's bot lane to walk away from that.
What needed to happen there is Cactarman needed to crescendo right before Wutanglo came into vision. That would have made it so that the flash was not going to be... basically, the bot lane wasn't going to be able to flash out of Wutanglo's ult, and that would have set up probably a good double kill for Wawa's Tristana.
Yeah, I feel like Cactarman was probably waiting for the Scion ult to hit so he could chain it that way. He probably thought that was the easier way, but with that flash coming out, this might be an easy dragon for Freshman 15. I don't even know if Russell's Crows know that this is happening right now.
They can probably guess because the vision was just cleared, but yeah, after the failed gank, Wutanglo backed off. He took some decent damage, and that signaled a very easy dragon for Freshman 15. Currently sitting almost 3,000 gold up at 10 minutes.
Angel Rookie putting a good amount of damage on a Saint Terminator, but that Rise is not too tanky just yet. He has a good amount of mana, but it's not going to be enough. But Angel Rookie's going to go in, and they're a good Rune Prism from Rise to stop that. And while this happened, Dark Matter is going to get hit, but not
forced out with Jarvan coming in.
Saint Terminator's taking the damage. He's going to go in, but a good ult from Angel Rookie is going to keep him away. Oh, it's flash by Synth, but he's going to get Charm under tower, but he's going to go down, but Dark Matter is going to be able to trade that kill.
Yeah, really good heads-up play from Dark Matter, not to panic, flash into the cage, or for that matter, just try and dodge out. Instead, just charming Vigar in range. But as I say this, Wutanglo coming up is going to cut off Terminator, forcing the flash out of Scion's Q, and it's going to stay safe, but excellent pathing by Wutanglo there, forcing the flash out.
Yeah, definitely. With his ult now available, he might be able to go in on him yet again, and someone is stealing the golem from I Am Cutie Pie. That's not something you see every day.
Definitely not.
And while this goes on, with Saint Terminator is going to get knocked up by Wutanglo. Angel Rookie needs one more ult to get it, but he just gets it with his W, I believe that was. And Dark Matter gets stunned up by Synth here in the mid lane, and he's going to go in, but not quite hit him with his Q.
Right, so the pink ward bait top, Terminator's pink ward caught out a ward placed by Wutanglo, and it just couldn't resist letting that ward be there, and it forced him into a bad position.
Yeah, last time I saw Wutanglo on this side, he definitely, his ganks were not as strong as they are now. He definitely learned how to play on him, and Dark Matter getting caught out again, but he's able to trade a charm, and he decides to go in, but decides that he doesn't have the damage right now. Synth would have killed him if he kept going on in that fight, because that needlessly large rod is really helping out that Viger right now.
Well, Dark Matter actually had the advantage in that trade, in that Synth is still about 20 seconds off of his ultimate, so he didn't have the big burst that he's now going to.
Oh, what an
brilliant rocket from Wily. He's going to pick up Dark Matter in the mid lane.
I didn't even see that going out. That was an amazing super mega death rocket by Wily there, and that is going to help him out because Tristana did have a kill on him, so now with that kill, he is able to take the lead in that bot lane.
Synth's going to pick up his blue buff, and he's going to be able to continue farming. just shy on his DFG, which is what I'm assuming he's going to go for. Taking stock at the gold, Jinx is also sitting on about 1,000 gold. Most other people around 500, so be expecting to see Jinx and Veigar back in the next couple of minutes. When that happens, you can expect there to be a play around a objective. Dragon should be spawning in the next couple of minutes.
Oh, Dark Matter is going on in St. Timber, but it misses the charm. We have a teleport in from Angel Ricky. Are they able to close him off? It's going to be close. Angel Ricky does get the ult onto him, but that Rise is tanky. Here comes the Jarvan. He goes right in the middle, gets a good ult on it, all three of them, and Watanglo is going to go dim and passive. Can he get one more auto attack on IMQpie? It's not going to be enough to get the kill.
Great rotation from Freshman 15 coming up from that bottom lane after stealing the red buff. Able to save Terminator, got caught out a little bit. And they are going to be pushing in onto this middle turret. They have the wave, and all of the wave clear from...
And Cacturman is taking a lot of damage right now, but somehow survives.
The Super Mega Death Rocket really hurting there, but does manage to make it out alive. And as I was saying before, Brussels Crow's wave clear is all in Ahri. Kassadin's E is somewhat effective, but because it's reliant on everyone else using spells, you can't really consider it effective wave clear. Ahri's the only one that really has the wave clear, and with Ahri getting picked off in the mid lane, that made that push very easy for Freshman 15 to pull off. Yeah, especially since Tristana really doesn't get good wave clear until she gets her static shiv, and St. Terminator might be trying to go in on Angel Ricky here, but Angel Ricky does have another ult available to jump away if he needs to, so he realizes this and knows that he won't be able to get a kill, but Synth picking up that DFG is going to be even more devastating now in that mid lane. If he's able to pick up anybody with his cage, he's going to be able to get a kill. And Angel Ricky is going to get caught up by the Rune Prison, but just ults away before St. Terminator can do too much damage to him. And he's going to have to back here, very low on mana, actually completely out of mana. If he stuck around at all, Terminator would just dive him. And looks like he is going to stick around. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Yeah, he had barely has any mana, but Dark Matter getting caught by Synth, but luckily he got a charm to not allow Synth to do too much damage to him. If he did not hit that charm, a DFG ult might have been enough to kill him. Top lane, Terminator activating his ult, chasing down Ricky. Ricky just having enough mana to ult again, and forces the flash out of Terminator. But Dragon pops back up, and that's gonna activate Scion running in with his ult. But Synth just blows up Dark Matter. He didn't even have time to do anything, and IMQpie is gonna ult on a Wawa Peach Iced Tea, but that's Tristana jump really works well against Jarvan's Cataclysm. Absolutely. Oh, but Angel Ricky does get cut off by Synth yet again. A lot of damage going on. He's getting knocked up by IMQpie, but he has just enough time in order to ult away, and because of this, all of you is going to take a little bit of damage, but they're going to have an easy time getting this turret. But double stun coming out. Watanglo's going to go down, but here he comes in his passive, but he doesn't have enough time to get any kills, and Cacturman's there all by himself. Luckily, he's able to get away from those chompers, and this is going to be another turret here for Freshman 15. Scion prioritizing the early armor, just getting absolutely shredded by Veigar. And Freshman 15's making their way top lane. Looks like they're going to pick up this outer turret. Get some ward coverage down. Synth gets Dark Matter getting caught out. And that was fairly predictive. No way of really knowing. Oh, Angel Ricky's getting caught out right here, and he is not going to be able to live through that one. And Cacturman getting hit by all of you. But not too much. Cacturman should be able to get out. But speaking of Cacturman, I don't think I've seen a crescendo this game so far. No, he has been holding on to that crescendo all game. I guess everyone else just isn't worthy of his beautiful playing. You hear a lot of music coming in from Dark Matter, but so far, Cacturman has been ironically silent in this game. But we'll see if he's able to get a good flash ult coming in. Indeed. Getting out to the 19-minute mark, Freshman 15 has a 8,000 gold lead, currently up 3 turrets, up 4 kills, and it's starting to look pretty grim for Russell's Crows. Only turret is that top turret. They need to somehow get vision control of their jungle and just avoid getting picked off by this Veigar, who is doing phenomenally well at 5-1 at the moment.
Oh yeah, 20 minutes in, that's when Veigar starts to do a little bit of damage. You should start fearing him, but when he's 5-1 at 20 minutes, then you should be fearing him for the rest of the game.
Oh, Veigar decides to back off.
And Wawa Peach Tea there, just checking out the jungle, but is able to jump away before Synth can do too much damage to him. Oh, Riley, just 2 auto attacks put Angel Rookie almost at half health.
The power of critical strikes at work. Synth's gonna collapse. DFG caged up Sona, and on top of his ult and the Super Mega Death Rocket, it's gonna fell Cactuar Man.
So yeah, Cactuar Man not even having enough time to throw out that crescendo, but this might be an inhibitor turret for them. He gets a nice stun on the 2 people, and he's getting casted right away. Dark Matter trying to run away, and he's basically able to. All of you picks up a kill onto a Tanglo, who is now trying to do damage in his passive, not able to do much, and Dark Matter's really low. A flash from Riley coming in to pick up the kill. And oh, Wawa Peach Tea getting caught out as well, but Crescendo coming in, only hitting 1, is going to go down to Synth as well. And now that is an 8-1-4 Veigar, and this is going to be an inhibitor for Freshman 15.
Freshman 15 are going to get that inhibitor. They're going to probably back out here, take this red buff that's either up or was never cleared. Looks like they're just going to back off in Russell Crowe's jungle and spend that gold that they picked up, which is 2 turrets, an inhibitor, and a whole bunch of kills.
Oh, that's a lot of gold coming in right now, and we can see the gold differentials from the teams. Like, the ADCs are almost 3k apart, the supports as well 2,000 apart, but we have the mid laners at 4k difference right now. It's going to be really hard. The closest is the 2 top laners at only around 1,500 gold apart, but it is almost a 13,000 gold lead right now for Freshman 15. This is going to be really hard for Russell's Crows to come back in this one.
Yeah, and that disparity in the mid lane is just horrendous if you think about the damage potential compared to Ahri and Veigar with those items. Ahri not even finished the DFG yet, can't amplify the damage, probably because of that can't 100 to 0 anyone. Meanwhile, you look at Veigar, has the DFG, now finished the Archangel's staff, so has the defensive item with the shield, and just shy on finishing the Void Staff to magnify the damage.
Dark Matter's getting caught up by Synth.
And the full combo just deletes Ahri.
Yeah, it's not looking good because right now, because Veigar might have might have the longest stun in the game once you fully max out that cage. And if he's maxing at second, he definitely has enough for I think is it 2.5 seconds? It's ridiculously long. That's all I remember. And Synth is able to catch out with Tanglo right now, and he also deletes him. But Saint Terminator is the one who picks up the kill. Angel Rookie trying to do what he can against I Am Cutie Pie, but Tanglo is going to go down after his passive. Cactuar Man at half health, healing and helping out. Oh, Wawa Peach Tea gets caught out, and the ult from Jinx comes out, but Veigar picks up that kill. More AP for him. All of you is going to get caught out by the Ahri Charm, but this is going to be an inhibitor, and no one dying from Freshman 15.
Second inhibitor of the game coming down. Looks like Freshman 15 is going to back out, or they might even just go straight for Baron. Yeah, it looks like Baron is the call.
They know that Russell's Crows didn't have a chance to put wards anywhere near here, so this is relatively going to be a free and unknown Baron to them. Because if I was Russell's Crows, I would also think that they probably backed, but Ahri finally picking up that DFG, I don't know if it's going to be enough to this Baron and very fed Freshman 15.
Yeah. Going back to Veigar, Sion ulting in, gonna miss, and gonna get caught out by the cage, and Rise gonna pick up the kill.
All of you standing there.
I don't think all of you remembered Scion's passive, and yeah, it's gonna get picked off.
Yeah, it's one that I always read about Scion's passive as well. It is something that I'm still getting used to, and you don't see a lot of Scions out there, but I don't know if he might have been trying to BM, thinking that Scion would have bled out before killing him, but he was wrong.
Going back to the Vygar point, Event Horizon, I believe, is the name of that skill. Yeah, Event Horizon at max level is a 2.5 second stun, which is beaten out by Morgana's Dark Binding and Ash's Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
And one thing we see picked up by all of you, which I love when you're really far ahead, support's getting a Medjai Soul Stealer can really help you out to get some AP. And it's relatively cheap and relatively not really risky to buy it on a support because you're not planning on dying and getting those support, and you want to get as many assists as you can.
Right, and especially with Janna, her kit is built around essentially keeping herself alive. She has massive disengage in both her Q and her R. Her Zephyr passive makes her movement speed way higher than most people ever have, so she can just run away from things. And she has a shield. So Mage Eyes is a wonderful item on her, whether she's ahead or not.
Mm-hmm. And right now they are putting that inhibitor tower to half health. I'm not sure if Russell's Crows is going to be able to defend this one. They're right now 18k gold behind. But Watanglo right there going out, trying to get a Q onto people, but not going to get the knockup. Watanglo takes a lot of damage, and he's going to die to Wily, but a good old crescendo right now, hitting 2. Wily's getting really low. Tristana comes on in, but not able to pick up the kill. Angel is going to try to do as much as he can, but Wily stays alive. Good job by Janna there to keep him alive, and while this happens, 2 more are also going to go down as well. That's a 4 for none, and that's going to be an inhibitor, and I'm not sure if Dark Matter can defend the base all by himself. He's going to try to get at least a kill out of it and try to draw people away, but Synth is able to get the stun, and just from his ult takes her to about half health, and Dark Matter is still going to survive for now, but Janna with that Medjai's is going to be able to pick up the kill, and Watanglo is going to try to save this tower, but he just gets blown up, and I think this is going to be a game. I don't think that tower is going to stay for much longer, and there's 3 up for Russell's Crows. The death timers are really low, but it's not going to be enough. This is going to be a game for Freshman 15, 24k gold ahead.
And at 26 minutes, nonetheless.
Yeah, it was almost 1,000 gold per minute of getting ahead.
I think one of the keys to this game was Kassadin's 6 longsword build is untouchable. Freshman 15 clearly had to surrender after seeing that.
But yeah, that Vygar, that was an amazing display by him, just finding people out and one-shotting him. And I'm loving Angel Ortiz end build right here, just 6 longswords, really helping out his Kassadin game. But all in all,
everyone knows AD Kassadin is best Kassadin.
Oh, it's definitely the best. But yeah, I'm looking at damage dealt to champions right now, and wow, Vygar with 22,000 against Dark Matter's 9k. He was unstoppable once he got rolling.
Absolutely, I'm looking at the gold curve right now, and after the 13-minute mark, Freshman 15 was about 1.5k ahead, and just from there it just spiraled out of control. Yeah,
definitely. That was a very good game. Good job to both teams, but Freshman 15 is going to pick that one up to Russell's Crows. I'm thinking I'm going to start getting out because we have that cross-divisional meeting happening in 20 minutes. I have just enough time to walk there and hopefully get there in time. So hopefully for whoever's watching, we see you there as well. And, well, Madcast Miss, thank you for co-casting with me.
Absolutely, my pleasure, Rudy. Until next time.
All right, see you around.